Hello, hello, hello. Today we're gonna go over the tier 8 Italian heavy tank called Bisonte C45. Almost said C35, but no, it's a C45. And this thing is a hull down beast. It's a fully armored tank. Let's just dive directly into the armor, because that's the whole equipage of this thing. You have a turret armor of 185 and the hull armor of 135 in the front, which doesn't sound too much, but it's very heavily angled. And it's a tier 8, so yeah, a lot of people gonna be struggling penning you frontally. There's only like 2 designated weak spots in the front of the tank, and that is at the sort of front plate I will show in the garage section of the video. It's in the front plate on the top side, which is like a lower armor, but it's still insanely good armor. So this tank is just absolute dominant beast when it comes to hull down gameplay. The weak point is obviously heat against it. You have a cupola in the back, but you don't see the cupola in the back because you are sitting hull down and you are just dominating. So we start off here on the map El Haluf. And we go to the most, I would say, standard position with a hull down tank. We just wait for the T32 to actually present a good target here. We didn't really care about the M4Y peeking here, because we can just maintain and keep him in this little lower position. He is a tank that is very bad when it comes to close-up hull down, while our tank is very good and accelerates when it comes to the close-up hull down. And like I said, we're keeping him pinned. We know there's another Bisonte on the other side, so we're gonna kind of side script towards him. Make sure he doesn't get too much freebie. And I just outside of the T32 there as I check behind me. I don't really care too much for the T32, he's busy fighting them. Or we keeping the others away from the T32 so he has no backup whatsoever. And I thought the Bisonte was gonna connect over or go over to the other side. So the hull armor and the turret armor side is 75 on hull, 80 on the turret. So you have relatively armor for out of bounds angles and side scraping capability. And we smack him in the weak plate just below the turret of the T30, cupola, not the turret, just below the cupola. You have a sweet spot where you can pen. And this guy we pen him in the cupola again because he is absolutely playing his tank wrong there. While we are playing our tank absolutely correct. You do have a quite long reload for the first shot, and a quite unreliable gun, as you might have seen, and you probably heard of it if you know about this tank since before. We have our first shot is 10.5 seconds, which is not too interesting for a 360 alpha. It's a really bad DPM tank. But you have 3 other shots, you have an auto reloader. So the first shell is obviously like a good reload, like a regular reload I would say, and the second shell is a slower, and then the third shell is even slower. But with an auto reloader it allows you to kind of maintain single shooting, as I do here a lot, which is very important. And whoops, he's gone. That was easy. Didn't need more shells there, I was prepared to fully clip out. Show you a good moment to actually utilize the full clip, but here we go. Now we get to showcase the full auto reloader-esque style. While we hear Chuck Norris flinging fish through a wall. I don't know how he does that. Need a high roll here to kill him. That's why we wait for the second shot. Might get away, might get away. Or the aim. Oh, there we go. It was a high roll. That's the one shot. We take it. We take it. That helps for our overall reload. We don't need to be moving back or running away. But let's talk about the gun. We touched on the auto reloading mechanism. Let's go over the statistic of it. So standard DPM is 1877, which is frankly very low. But this is the big but that comes in here. You have fantastic armor. In tier 8 versus tier 8 and always lower, you have relatively good pen on top of that. So it is DPM allows you to not really... You can always maintain the combat with this. You don't have to run away, as we try to clip out our Bisonte here, and our gun is really unreliable. We have a 360 alpha with a 218 AP pen, which is good. Actually, that's good enough. It gets around. You can pen mostly other heavies around the battlefield with a shell velocity of 1155. So there's kind of fast AP shells, very useful. And then you have the heat, which is 270 pen, but 800 shell velocity. So it's kind of a slow heat shells, very good for when it comes to very close combat, like the Bisonte do like to play in. When you play it correctly, I have to say, it's not just go face hugging, go at them, and then be good with it. You have to have this little dance where you are close, but not super close, but not too far away. And then you have the HE, which is 105 pen and also 800 shell velocity. So you have good HE pen. And the sad thing with an auto reloader, it's not like an auto loader when you're using intuition, where you can just flip over a full clip real quickly, like Skoda T25 takes you 4 seconds to flip over to the other clip. This one takes you a bit longer because you only change the first shell of the reloading, the longest reload of this one. So with the standard info, it would be 16 seconds, would get down that to 4 seconds. 3 seconds I think it is, something like that. 2 to 3 seconds with the first shell only, and then you would reload the second and first shell, or second and third shell, the regular time. But that was a good little domination, 5.6, we take it. We hop over to the next game, which will take us to another victory. Here we are in the next game for our next victory. Spoiler alert. And we are just gonna go send it down in the middle. We're gonna keep talking about this gun, because it's a 3 clip size with, wait, is it 3 seconds in between? Yeah, 3 seconds in between. Because I didn't touch on the main part of this tank that's bad with the gun, and is obviously the gun handling. You can see the big bloom we have while just driving straight forward. It's horrendous. And we have a very bad aim time of 2.6. Oh, I read that 2.5 first, but it's 2.6 standard aim time. I think I get down to like 2.5, 2.4, something like that. So you have a very bad gun handling and the aim time. So it's very much a tank you want to stay still and go slightly forward, slightly forward and slightly backwards, very slowly. And as you can see, you don't really capitalize a lot when it comes to when you track someone just around a corner, because it has that 3 seconds horrible between shots. I really like when a tank has 2.2, I think the max is like 2.5 where I like. With between the intra clip between the shells. But the M6 decides to just peek again. PK says hello. M6 just gave up. Thank you, M6. Thank you so much. So that standard dispersion is 0.40. I think I get down to 36 myself with this tank. You have actually, I read this right now, you have an actually potential damage of doing 21,600 damage in this tank, with this tank? That to me sounds very high, but we take it. We have a phenomenal, since we are a hull down tank, we have a phenomenal gun depression of 10. Okay, maybe not phenomenal, but it's good. It gets you around, it doesn't hamper you too much in any type of hull down out there. And then you have 20 gun elevations, so you can literally shoot up on a lot of targets. It's kind of that Russian meme that, you know, Russian tanks don't have gun depression, they have gun elevation only. But this thing has the both. And then on top of it, you have that high top speed as you saw in the beginning here of Glacier, where you kind of want to get into middle quickly so you can capitalize on the both sides of the heavies trying to cross up in the north. You have a top speed of 50 with this tank, so you have that high top speed. And then you have 15 reverse, but the bad thing is that you have 600 horsepower, power to weight ratio is 13. It's not the best, obviously, so you don't get up to this 50 kilometers on a straight road. It takes you a lot of time to build it up. That's why turbo and, I mean, I would say grouse is a little bit, but turbo is the better option, but we're going to get into that when we get to the garage section of the tank. As you can see, I have full view range, but that's only thanks to actually the field mods and the right set of equipment that I'm running. So I have a standard view range of 380. Usually with 380 view range you must have optic, And I'm just trying to localize this light tank, what he's gonna do. Oh, there's a G2. As you can see, it's a very bad tank when it comes to being reactional. A lot of times, an auto-reloader, when an auto-reloader advances, becomes really good, is when it's good at being a reactional. This is a tank you're gonna be proactive, not the reaction with the tank. So you don't want to be like, oh, I need to aim quickly there, I need to go quickly there. This is a tank where you kind of want to go, alright, Jetto, I'm gonna slightly go up here. Aim just there. Always first shot miss, man, always first shot miss. And then we aim the left side because that's what we were exposed towards. So the full view range, you only get this when you get through the whole field modification if, like I said, you do not use the optics on the tank. So it's a tank that you work defensively with. You kind of want to set up, you want to hold, you want to work your enemies in front of you down. Obviously now it's more of a sniping game, but I'm presenting myself in the middle. I'm a target, I'm on a sort of a point of interest. So if someone wants to do anything, they have to go through me. I can help both base, I can help both the attack, and I'm also spotting at the same time. So this position works really good when you have subdued the northern part of the map, where the ARL and IS-3 is. And you kind of have still control in the base a little bit. It's a tight spot to kind of get into sometimes, to get working. And that's also a slight issue. They're artillery shooting on us, but we're kind of zoning in, thinking maybe he's there. I think there's a tree on the left there that's knocked down. Alright, let's keep just single shooting here, not waste the DPM completely. Alright, not there. Aim a little bit more left, maybe there. We ignore the MT25, get spotted by the projectile. We got spotted again. But since I have so good turret armor... Oh, there we go, we saw the flash. Right there. Oh, we hit them. We didn't see an explosion behind. And there we go, there's an L12 gone. Feels good, man. Alright, that means we are not gonna take extra damage when we're sitting in the dip here. So that feels absolutely brilliant. So we kind of baited him there when we stood still and just looked at him, waited for him. Because we got spotted, and I do rely on my armor, because there's not that much on the left side there. The Hellcat, 2 Hellcats, a G2 and a T-3485, they all gonna struggle. I don't think they can pen me in a hold down if they don't find a perfect angle. We thank you for this spotting the Hellcat provides us. We're obviously a little bit afraid of the Scorpion. He has not been spotted, but he has not shot me here once. I would like assume we would hear a shot or a shell incoming, like it has a more of a oomph sound when it misses than all these other smaller calibers. It's sometimes we can actually tell where the shell comes from thanks to the sound and where the impact is. We are just gonna maintain this position. It's a strong position at the moment. We kind of lock down the map. Oh, all right. I just knew he wasn't gonna be there. It's no. I knew. Sometimes you just gotta do some blinds here and there and hope for the best. And that was a great pickup because it's alleviate a lot of pressure from the left side. The MT25, he's working the top side up there on the A4. You can see on the minimap. So he won't be spotted by the Hellcat and then taken out by someone else. Now he got a deeper spot into their base. Sure, it's not an amazing spot. Yeah, we can't catch that one. Maybe someone else from the base. Yeah, our MT25 up on A4. He's in the top of the mountain. Or top of the pillar. Oh, now we have a tiger though. He did actually the one thing I have not checked at all. And that is to check the bottom side here. Where the tiger is. I did not check it one bit. That's a little bit bad on me. Could have dropped down and actually peeked on the lower side to make sure there's no one coming there. And Bisonte's gun, like always, it delivers on the first shot. It delivers again on the first shot. We are gonna get flanked if we don't do anything. We need to make sure we hit these two. And then we check where the 122 is. He's coming from behind. We need to either go straight forward or take cover by the Tiger 2. I decided to take cover by behind the Tiger 2 to use that, reverse side script a little bit. The 122 does not see us. We do not have a shot ready. Oh, that was close. And you have a special thing with the auto reloader, is that when you see the arrows on the reloading go slower, when it's that means you reload the shell faster. So you can shoot this one without being fully reloaded. And that allows you to reload the previous shell slightly faster. It depends, I think it's like 50% or something like that faster. But I like to almost always wait to a full reload. It's only like in desperate moment and desperate times you kind of use this gimmicky auto reloader, heavy auto reloader Italian thingy, where you kind of, oh, he's getting away, shoot, or oh no, I'm about to die, shoot, pretty much. Well, we want to see if we can set up a snipe here. Kind of overestimating my capability of sniping here. And we missed all of them. That was some excellent marksmanship, I would say, by myself. Absolutely extraordinary. But now I see we have taken control of the base. We have subdued them there. They're only thing in their own base. I am very low with AP, so I'm gonna switch over to heat in just a second. And I'll decide, okay, so my team is going south. I can go north to maybe push up. I have hit points. I can take one Scorpion hit. I can take a bunch of these lower tier hits as well. That's no problem at all for me to withstand. A little bit of the job of the heavy is to take that damage and withstand it and push up and make sure your team can well, execute around you. Well, it seems like they picked up the super Hellcat in the bottom right there. Pretty good. Makes them more courageous, hopefully go more forward. And the camouflage of this tank is surprisingly okay. You're at 7, just 6.9, nice stationary camo, and at 342 when you're moving. So you have actually relatively good camo for a heavy. Usually these Italian heavies have a good camo. I don't know why. The best camouflage heavy tank in the game is the Caro P88, which is very strange. Did not know that until I checked up some statistics here. As we come up to base, we're just pushing hard here. Like if we get spotted here, okay, we know that they're just gonna get in one shot. We get this hull down, which we can work with here. We are very, like I said all the time throughout the video, we are very good when it comes to the hull down capability. So we try to go a little bit wide here, see if we can get a spot, and the Peter Raider 5 shoots us immediately. I think these 2 tree spots, and there we found a Scorpion, and I realized we can't push up here. This was not the best of plans. And oh, he hits me again, man. This stock gun, he's getting some good value out of it. I know the Cheat 2 is running towards them. They are a little bit pushed back. They might, I don't know if I'm still spotted or not. They probably have gone away as they move. Here I'm saying screw it, let's just go up. Missed the first shot, because my Bisonte first shot accuracy is very, very, very poor. But I'm kind of confident that I will not die by the Cheat 2. Cheat 2 has a good pen gun though, but it's very low, I would say, reaction for him or such. There we have a T45 up on the mountain. Take him out real quick so we don't get killed by him or by the Scorpion. We will go over in the garage section more about the tank nitpicking around it, showing weak spots and such. We're loading HE here, and the Scorpion was waiting. Shame I overpeaked there, but we got some spotting out of it. In these games, I do not have intuition on the tank. And intuition, like I debriefed a little bit about, it's only the very first shell that you reload into the clip that reloads faster. The other two, they reload the standard. So intuition is not super high on my list when it comes to this tank, or to auto reloaders in general. But maybe the Bisonte is an exception. We will dive into that in the garage section. while we watch how this AMX 48 is wreaking havoc on this poor little Scorpion. It seems like we got around 4,500-ish damage game. We held our guard, we stood our ground, we played solid, we played good. The Scorpion fired, the AMX 48, who is playing a stock gun, the 240 Alpha. Oh, he didn't get it, the IS-3 did. Alright, that was a good little victory with the Bisonte C45. Let's hop into the garage and go around the tank. Here we are in my little beautiful garage here with my awesome Bisonte. The good looking Bisonte. I didn't touch on this, but the skin for this tank looks absolutely stunning, honestly. It's called the Aurora, and it was sold during the 2021 New Year, Christmas, New Year kind of thing. Around there they were sold, but it's probably gonna pop up in the shop or anywhere else around. I don't know, but I really like this one, this rescue team kind of thing. Aurora is it called. But like always, we're gonna go over the crew, the equipment, shells, consumables, and field modification. Let's just fire away with the crew. First and foremost, the commander, I think, is very important. Actually, it is very important on this tank. There you go, Brothers in Arms, 6 Sense, Repair, Situational Awareness, and then Recon. Basically, this is the most standard heavy build that you do out there. And the Awareness and the Recon, both you're gonna need to get that full view range. It's not a must for the Bisonte, but it's always good to get up to the 445, which is the view range that you can have. Above that, you break the camo value earlier so you can see more tanks quicker. For the gunner is the most standard one as well. It's very basic. We go with Brothers in Arms, Snapshot, Repair, and then we take Firefighting or Deadeye. You can switch that in. You have I forgot the caliber. Excuse me. It's a 105. I should have realized that. It's a 105. I could have checked it down here if I'm actually smart. But yeah, I'm not smart, so I check it up there. This is a 105. So you could pick the Deadeye to help it to break some modules inside the tank, but I think Firefighting might help out a lot. And then I touched a little bit brief on the camo in this tank, and we have 8.9, and that is only having a very little camo. It's only having the camo from the camouflage actually. So you can pump it up actually quite a bit and be a little bit of a hidden little bit heavy tank out there. But that's for the 5th skill. I will take Firefighting first. The driver, which is also very important for the Italian heavies. It's incredibly important that you have a good driver, which we go with Brothers in Arms, Smooth Ride, Repair, and then off-road driving, and lastly clutch braking. And after that, Firefighting, controlled impact, or maybe preventive maintenance, maybe, I don't know. But those 5 skills that I said first are the most important. The clutch braking and off-road driving speaks for itself. It helps you with the mobility of turning the tank, because without them you are incredibly slow at turning. And then the loader. Here I am a little bit, maybe not, but I would say you go with Brothers in Arms, Repairs, Firefighting, Camo, or Intuition. I think I will pick the Intuition. Maybe I pick the Intuition on 3rd just to have it, but often did I not really need it with the Bisonte, because you just go with the full reload before you know what you're going to be facing. You go for the heavy line where you have maybe higher tiers, then bam, you load up the heat. Or if you know you're going to be fighting same tier, then you load up the heat or the AP, depending on the distance you're going to be fighting on. If it's mid distance, AP. If it's a short distance, close up, heat. You kind of have that going for yourself. You have a little bit of a pre-planning before you get to the firefight. But the Intuition allows you to quickly switch over, so it's have a little bit good with that. So maybe on the 4th skill I pick Intuition, and then 5th skill I go with the camouflage. And then we have the goodie, the equipment. I played this tank before the equipment 2.0 came out, and I literally disliked it. It was so bad. It didn't work for me or anything. But when I got back to it, no, I didn't play it. No, I played before field modification. Excuse me, it's before field modification. but it didn't work for me. I was not feeling comfortable. I didn't like the tank. And then I went and said, hey, I'm going to try and 100% this tank because it looks so cool. So I was like, all right, let's go. And what do you know? I actually fell in love with this tank. It's absolutely a beast on the battlefield sometimes. But it's not about that, it's about the equipment. It's very standard. This is very good for it. It's a ventilation, vert stab, and IRM. IRM is a godsend for this tank because it helps you with the turning, which I briefly touched upon. It's very bad. And it helps you with the gun handling moving forward and backwards. And when you're turning the hull a little bit, turning the turret a little bit as well, so you get that better dispersion, which is very important for this tank to maintain that control in front of you. So you're not super hampered by aiming one side only or one area, which often you would be if you don't have these equipment. But for secondary equipment, I would actually pick ventilation, just so I get full view range. I pick the vertical stabilizer for the gun handling. And then I would pick the turbo as my secondary set of equipment, just so I can get that slightly faster speed, get up that reverse speed to 17. My magic marker is 20. I always want to get up to 20 if I can, and then I stop it there, no more. Then I would like to reduce, because so often you don't use the full reverse speed. And like I briefly touched upon, you don't get this 54 top speed, but when you do, it's very dandy. When you go down, like downhill on Glacier to get down quickly to the middle. But I would only really use this if I'm top tier, or if I know I'm going to be chasing or I'm going to be driving a lot. For example, Malinovka or actually Glacier for the time being. But I'm a big fan with this. IRM helps this tank tremendously. I would go 50-50 with the shells here. Take a little bit of HE, because you never know when you're in that late game. And you know you can actually pen a lot of targets with the 105. And especially when you're top tier and you have a couple of tier 6 in the game. Oh, this 105 becomes super deadly, actually. But 50-50, because there's both very useful shells in a very different situations. Which actually leans into getting more intuition on the tank. And for the consumables, we pick the standard. We pick the extra ration. It just boosts the tank. It's good to have. And now we come to the field modification that made me actually maybe not fall in love with the tank, but liking it a lot more. And that simply comes down to this, the all-terrain suspension. Slightly faster speed across the battlefield. It just helps you be quicker around there. It doesn't really show up anywhere here. It doesn't tell you. It tells you here only, 7%, but like, what does it mean? Like maintaining speed. It's not maintaining speed. Yes, it says so, but it helps you accelerate easier on all terrains. It helps you turn easier on all terrains. And this video is gonna be long, apparently. And it just helps you so much, and it makes you pick up the speed. It doesn't feel you so slow anymore. And then for the next one, we make the aiming circle just a tiny little bit smaller. It helps out on long distance because we have a horrible dispersion. We get down to 36, which is not good, but it's better than nothing. And for the last one, it's the full view range that we get. If I showcase it here on spotting. With the view range, you can see it says that the periscope electric drive modification. It gives that extra view range, and from that we can actually see more things, and we can play this wide open hold down without fearing for our life. And for the next one, we pick the firepower. And I realized I am very poor in game. So we picked the firepower instead of mobility, because the firepower helps the vertical stabilizer, which is our primary issue, is the gun handling of this tank. That's my little review of the Bisonte C45. I hope you liked it. And I hope you have played this tank, or if you're about to get this tank, I like it. It's an easy tank to play and a hard tank to play at the same time. It teaches you, it punishes you for being erratic with the mouse. You have to be very calm and collected when you move around and pre-plan. It has that planning phase of a tank that I really enjoy. It makes you think more about the game, not just go herp-a-derp, pull down, shoot, click, click, done kind of thing. You have to kind of look and see what you're fighting and how you're fighting. That's it for me. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the future.